10 years ago today, Dallas was forever changed. A peaceful protest ended in gunfire, chaos, and unimaginable loss. 5 officers were killed, and a city that had watched its police officers run toward danger was left heartbroken. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez covered the ambush and has covered this case for the past 10 years.
You know, Rebecca, the city remembers this day very vividly, and you found some new video really showing the heroism of that day.
Yeah, that's what we really want to focus on. We did obtain footage from inside Centro College where the shooter went to hide. And I think for many of us who lived here 10 years ago, we remember exactly where we were when this happened. It did change Dallas forever. And for the officers who were here that night, the memories have never gone away. For 10 years, we've heard their stories about the chaos and the heroism. This is video our photojournalist captured when the shooting started, of officers running to help other officers and civilians who were struck by bullets. There's also footage of officers running toward danger to take down the shooter. But now, for the first time, we can actually see some of what happened inside El Centro. WFAA uncovered never-before-seen video showing just how close students came to the gunman and the incredible danger officers were walking into. One camera shows a student walking down a hallway. And then 30 seconds later, you're going to see the gunman moves into that same area. Another camera, again, shows that gunman bleeding and armed, and now you see the SWAT team. He was moving through a stairwell. Officers followed very close behind. Dallas Police Sergeant Ivan Gunter was wearing a heavy vest that night when he teamed up with El Centro Police Officer John Abbott. Gunter, who made a decision that he was going to go first.
He turned around and goes, "Stop, we need a tactical column. I've got a heavy vest in, I'll never forget this. I've got a heavy vest on. I need somebody to get behind me. He's gonna have to shoot me in the head to kill me. Let's go."
There were a lot of heroes that night, including DART Officer Brent Thompson, who was wounded. He wounded the shooter and slowed him down before he was shot. 5 officers lost their lives that night. Sergeant Michael Smith, Senior Corporal Lauren Aarons, Officer Michael Kroll, Officer Patrick Zamaripa, and DART Officer Brent Thompson.
Rebecca, you've covered this story for so long, from the very beginning. What was it like for you to see that video, that new video, for the very first time?
You know, Matt, it was very haunting because, you know, for the first time we see them and just what those officers were going through and what happened that night. Look, I've interviewed these officers for years, but when you actually see that student walking down the hallway and then seconds later you see the gunman in that same area, it hits you differently. You realize how close some of these students came to him, and then you see SWAT just seconds behind trying to find him. It's really haunting.
You know, Rebecca, you've talked about the heroism that is at the center of this, and I feel like 10 years feels like it's still right on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're still telling this story 10 years later.
Yeah, because it just has such an impact on everyone that was here. And you know, one of the reasons we want to focus on the heroism is because people like Sergeant Ivan Gunter, he's such a powerful example of what we saw that night. He had already lost 3 members of his team in less than 2 minutes, and yet he kept going. Hours later, he was inside El Centro. He knows there's a rifleman. He knows that there's someone in that building, and he tells another officer, get behind him because he has the heavy vest. So he wanted to go first. That's the kind of courage that we saw over and over again from officers that night. Yeah.